Thank you very much. I'm so happy that it's working now. So you're all welcome here today. And I think we are waiting just to go online. Great. So you're all welcome today, those connected on Zoom and also those on YouTube. You are all welcome today. So today we'll be talking about how to apply and ace the Erasmus Mundus Joint Masters Scholarship. And what we are trying to do is to highlight most of the dynamics of the Erasmus Mundus Joint Masters Scholarship. Especially here we have the STEM scholars and the non-STEM scholars to demystify this Erasmus Mundus Scholarship for us, okay? So here we have Victor, we have Adepelumi, and we have Grace as well. Please, one thing I would like us to do while we are listening and connected is to, first of all, keep your microphones muted, unless maybe the speaker asks, can you hear me or something, then someone can just unmute and say yes. But after that, please try to mute yourself as well. And you can keep your videos on if you want, but you can also keep it off. Like we always prefer to keep it off so that the speaker's face will just be showing. Sometimes it interferes and maybe you now have to see your face somewhere like you don't want to see it. Okay. And then if you have questions, please post it on the Q&A. There is question and answer session so that it doesn't mix with the chats. So the speakers will always go to the question and answer when it's time for question and answer, and I will ensure that I get all the questions from there. Also, be mindful that you submitted your questions when you were making the application, submitting the form to join the Zoom, right? So those questions, we have them. We saw that there are a lot of questions and we have over 100 questions from everyone that registered, and we are happy to answer most of them before the time elapses. Please, can you go to the next page? So here we'll just be introducing some of our speakers within this few minutes. First, we have Victor, and he will be the first speaker. And also Victor, like you see, he has obtained a bachelor's degree in biochemistry. He's an Erasmus, let me mention, he's an Erasmus scholar. You saw it on the profile already. And he holds a research Mind PhD certificate, silver award from the University of Cambridge. In 2022, he was selected a neurology research fellow by the Tofik World Medical Association. That's great. In the same year, Victor was awarded the 2022 Erasmus Mundus Joint Masters Scholarship, with which he obtained a joint MSc degree in International Masters in Sustainable Drug Discovery at Ghent University. The Medical University of Gdańsk, this name is hard, of Poland, and the University of Lille in France, alongside the Erasmus Plus Blended Intensive Program, BIP, certificate in drug discovery with distinctions from the University of Porto in Portugal. So Victor has vast research experiences with interest in host pathogen interaction and structural characterization and functional dynamics of membrane protein. He has published in international peer-reviewed journals, won several awards and scholarships and grants. Currently, Victor Nweze is a staff associate at Weill Cornell Medicine in the United States in the broadcast lab. Wow, that's great. In Cornell, where he's exploring the functional dynamics of membrane transporters responsible for the learning and cognitive process of the brain. So you can see all the countries he traveled to during his Erasmus Mundus program. The next person is Adepelumi Osikoya. So Adepelumi is a graduate of the Polytechnic Ibadan and and ties Solarin University of Education in Nigeria. In this institution, he successfully taught his cohort, that's great, at the Departments of Local Government and Development Studies and Political Science, respectively. So currently, he's an Erasmus Mundus scholar, studying an international master's in Central and East European, Russian, and Eurasian Studies, IMSERS, at the University of Tartu, I hope I pronounced that correctly, Estonia, the University of Glasgow, United Kingdom, and Jagiellonian University, Poland. Looks like most of our scholars went to Poland. In early 2024, he was awarded a NAWA scholarship at the University of Silesia in Poland. His academic interest revolves around development, migration, gender and politics, women and sexuality, and menstrual equity and period poverty with focus on North American and Eastern Europe. Wow, I really love this research area. With strict attention paid to these areas of specialization, he works as a research intern and qualitative data analyst at the Jagiellonian Center for Migration Studies, Poland. In a bid to prove that his expertise is not limited to academics, he makes his impact felt by volunteering, I hope you're paying attention, and working with a few renowned international entities such as UN Women UK. And these are also the countries he traveled to, from Nigeria to the other country to UK and then to Poland. All right, next page, please. Then here is Grace Tolulope Ojo. Grace is a dedicated sport professional and virtual artist. A 2019 graduate of the University of Ibadan, she earned 2 fully funded Erasmus Mundus scholarships, wow, and chose a master's in governance and administration of leisure and sports, studying across France, Poland, and Portugal. Grace graduated with the first-class honors in sports management and has spoken at the 2023 Global Sports Week in Paris. That's excellent. As a young sport maker. She also served as an event volunteer for the Paris 2024 Olympics. Currently, she's developing Bethel Fusion Zone in Ibadan, a project that uses sports and visual arts to foster community cohesion, limit social vices, promote creativity, and encourage fitness aligning with specific SDGs. So you can also see the countries she traveled to, and that's very great. So today's webinar, it's well structured for you because we know that you are expectant and really want to learn from this. And here the speakers will have like 15 minutes to 20. 15 will be great for them to explain a lot of things you need to know about the Erasmus Mundus scholarship. First of all, the first speaker will talk about Erasmus Mundus, how we navigate the new website because it's becoming really overwhelming for a lot of people. And then the catalog search, finding fitting programs. Some people don't know whether the program they are interested in have found the language barriers and every mobility countries and track you need to learn about. So this is what the first speaker will do. Then the second speaker will talk about the Erasmus Mundus application materials, the motivational letter. I saw from the questions that a lot of people really needed to know how to write motivational letter. So don't worry, we got you covered. And then how to write your CV. Also, they will all use their examples to explain to us what they are talking about. And then the third speaker will talk about the interviews. Also, luckily for us, or coincidentally, a lot of people asked about interview, how they can prepare for their interviews. So this speaker, the third speaker, will talk about the interviews, what to expect in your interview, and how to prepare and approach your interview questions using the examples from her own program. So, and then finally, we will have like 30 minutes question and answer session where your questions will be answered. If you have any questions, please do not forget to write it, to drop your question in the Q&A session of this very Zoom. You will see it there so that we can collect the questions in order. Then for engagement's sake, I encourage you to pay attention during this session please still mute your mics. And when the speakers are talking, you can always show some love. The people on YouTube, we'll also be collating your questions as well. We are not leaving you behind at all. And then show the speakers love, share the video with whoever that is interested on your social media platforms as it's going on before we move on. And then do not forget to subscribe to my channel and like the video and on YouTube as well. So that's it. So I think now the first speaker will go on to present what they have for us today. Victor Nweze, please, can you take the floor? Thank you.
Hear me? Can you hear me clearly? Just want to be sure.
Yes, I can hear you clearly. Thank you.
Okay. So, hello everyone. I hope you're doing great. If you can hear me clearly as well, do say something in the chat box that you can hear me clearly. So I'm so glad. Thank you so much, Chinaza, for inviting me to this prestigious event, because I believe it's an event that I have always longed for, to make an impact to many other lives out there all over the world. Erasmus Mundus, as far as I'm concerned, is the best master scholarship in the world.
I agree.
You can argue with your pen or take it to the courts. But yeah, because it's beyond the courses, it's beyond, it's so much more you can earn from the program. So without further ado, I'll just briefly show you, because my own session today will be more on how to navigate the Erasmus Mundus websites and how to search for courses, because we found out that majority of us don't even know how to even navigate through the websites. Indeed, there have been some improvements in recent times. So I will be going through that so that you can learn, because we realized that a very significant an amount of us here do not even know how to search for a course on the Erasmus portal. That is the Erasmus Mundus catalog precisely. They haven't even chosen a course, and some of the intended programs they wish to apply to have even started application, like the case of even the International Master in Sustainable Drug Discovery. My own program, from which I graduated from, has commenced, and I think theirs should end next month in December. So just in case you're here and you're interested in the SDisco program, which is my own program, you're welcome. And I'll just use mine as a guide, and perhaps find out use some other programs to help, trace on how you could make a choice of a program you would like to apply to, and from there navigate through the websites in a way. So let's get that. For me, I love something more practical. So if you have your phone, or maybe you have a laptop, you could just open an extra tab or something, and maybe you could practice, maybe as I do do as I do, or maybe you just focus here like you were instructed, just focus and learn the ropes. Then on your own, you can come back to the video, because you go back to visit the YouTube channel, and go over the video again to learn how to go through the website and navigate the catalog as well. So just in a jiffy, I'll be sharing my screen. Just a second.
You go. Esta, ¿qué hay de ama?
Okay. So like I said, the session today will be more practical, but I'll just have to present a little thing, or like a few things to show us on what we'll be covering for today. So nothing much other than we'll be going through the catalog search and finding a fitting program for you. And the other one is the program's website. So we just go through the program in a bit and say, okay, this is the website of the program, because we got a lot of responses, and it seems like many people did not know how to navigate through this. So just real quick, because I think we're past the time. So the first thing we'll be having today is navigating the new website. Well, why I say it's new website is because there've been improvements recently. Unlike then, you just have to type the Erasmus Mundus catalog and it just pops up straight up. But in recent times, you have to navigate through maybe the general page and from there into the catalog. So even for me, at some point, it was confusing. So to all newbies, to who are you know you're new to Erasmus, because we found it quite some persons who registered that do not know about the Erasmus itself, or maybe how to navigate the website. So basically, just for an intro, the Erasmus Mundus is an initiative by the European Union to, advance, international, intercultural level of education among, not just Europeans, but also non-citizens of the EU as well, through research, education, culture, teaching, and other forms of, engaging education and advancing education, not just within Europe, but also worldwide. So with that said, usually at least each Erasmus program, you should spend at least your program in 2 countries, right? So some programs involve like 3 countries. My own program involved 4 countries. Some programs I think I've seen involve 8 countries. So I don't know. I know Chinaza as well is an Erasmus alumna. I don't know how many countries her own was, how many countries you spent for your program. So it's like that. It's quite an exciting program that you would always dream to be a part of, because once an Erasmus scholar is always an Erasmus scholar. So I will just kick it up from here. So I'll be sharing my screen of my browser right away, and we'll be taking it one step at a time. So, so the first thing you want to do is to, check on type maybe the Erasmus Mundus catalog. So you want to start on your search box, and we'll start from here or wherever you want to start from. So the Erasmus Mundus, yes, catalog here. So most times I just type this, and this is what you get, right? And from here, you just want to check the first one here. Just open on the first tab, on next tab here. I want to be sure you're seeing my screen properly. Okay.
Yes,
Okay,
we can
so
see it.
okay. It's moving. So so here we are on the Erasmus Mundus platform, of course, by the European Commission. Of course, some of you may say, what's Erasmus Plus, Erasmus Mundus? Yeah, Erasmus Plus is its advanced form in a way because of the improvements that has taken place in recent years. So this is what we have here, the Erasmus Mundus Joint Masters student years, but you have to access the catalog in order for you to get through the program. So usually you just come down straight and you will find a search for courses and apply, right? And under which you find the search catalog. You can see, I think I should use my annotating pen. I hope I'll be able to, so that you can be able to see that clearly. Okay, yes, I've seen it already. So yes, so you have it here, the search for courses and apply. So from here, you come to this search catalog and you click on it. And here you are, you're in the catalog now, and this is where you can find all the programs that are currently active in the Erasmus Mundus itself. So I haven't gone into the Erasmus Mundus scholarship particularly. We are concerned about the program first, because you want to talk about the program before you talk about the scholarship. So, and of course, you want to know more about the Erasmus Mundus Joint Masters programs. So you can read more about it here. And like you can see here, the Erasmus Mundus catalog is updated yearly. and lists the master's programs that are currently supported by the European Union. So I think this is something to have in mind. Another important thing you want to have in mind here is here that was stated, most offer Erasmus Mundus scholarship, some do not. So have that in mind. Being at the end of their funding period or having been temporarily allowed to use the Erasmus Mundus name after the end of their funding period. So it means that you can be pursuing an Erasmus Mundus program and not even be on an Erasmus Mundus scholarship. So it means you can be an Erasmus Mundus scholar and not have a scholarship at the same time. So I want you to have this in mind, that you can be an Erasmus Mundus scholar and not have scholarship. So the aim here is not just to know about the program, and that's the beauty of this event or webinar, but also to know maybe the potential tricks and tips in a way that you should take note of, maybe in a general way, that could or might help your application going forward. So below that, we can now see all the programs. I remember as at the time I was applying for my program in 2021, there were less than 180 programs in the catalog. But as you can see here, we now have over 203 programs, or over 200 programs rather, that is 203 precisely here. And, there are a lot of them. So you can always go through them from one to another and the other and the other. There are so many of them. But of course, because of there are over 200, how do you want to navigate through these 200 in order to find the ones that is, or maybe programs that you can apply for? Recently, the Erasmus Mundus program has given the opportunity for students to apply, or for applicants to apply to at least, I think initially you're not supposed to apply to more than one program, more than one Erasmus program, more than two, but now you can apply to as many as you can. This is more like the recent development. But at the same time, you want to be sure that there are no restrictions to your program, like of the number of programs you should apply to too as well. So aside from this law, you want to be sure that, okay, you applying to program A does not hamper or impede on your potential of applying to program B, or maybe your possibility of being selected. But in a general way, you can apply to more than 3 programs now, at your own discretion too. So how do we now look out for the program that we are interested in out of these 203 programs in this catalog? So usually we make use of the filter by here to select, make options or put in certain keywords that could help filter out the program or our program of interest. For me, I think the most interesting parameter here in this filter by is a keyword, because I feel it's more flexible in a way. It can help you select maybe like some programs out of all of these, and from there you can even know more about the program. There are some programs that, trust me, they are fit for you. I think almost everybody has one program or the other fit for them in the Erasmus Mundus. It's just that you may not have known about it, because maybe it's just a new program that just came out this year, or something like that in most cases. So, or maybe it has been existing, but you never even heard about it before, because maybe you have not even encountered or don't even know how to make use of the catalog. So using this filter by could help you be able to know these programs and, from there, perhaps apply for them if you find them interesting. So for me, I like using these keywords a lot. Just that one, but you can make use of the country. If you're specific about a country that you're interested in, attending an Erasmus program, you can say, okay, I would like to go to France or Spain or something like that. But for the keywords, let's say, let me work with the audience now going forward. Is there any program in mind you would like to apply to? Maybe can someone just drop maybe a program? I will just pick, maybe guess a keyword. Maybe, okay, somebody wrote film, something in film. Someone said public health, something around agriculture, finance. That, oh, this is amazing. Okay. We are having a bunch of them here. Great. So,
wow, that's great.
okay, I think I'll go with the first one. CV was quite fast. Film. So let's check if we can find a program related to film in a way. So let's go with film. Maybe we might find something. I love using the keyword because it's very flexible. It could bring out not just one program if it exists, or if there's something related. It may not be in the name of European Union film something, but it might bring out a program that is maybe directly or indirectly related to that program. So that's what you should keep in mind. And like in this search as well, keep an open mind. It might not appear in the same way you want it, but it shows that, oh, this program could also contain some of the things you're looking for as well, or cover some of the things you're looking for, or you hope to explore, and even more than you even maybe you're even aware of. So just in your search, don't just be restricted, be open-minded, because you would find out things that you'll be amazed, and they are very interesting programs. In fact, there is not one Erasmus program that is not interesting. All of them are interesting, trust me. So for the keyword, let's use the keyword film and let's search. I hope we find something I don't know. So, oh, okay. Okay. So we found some things. We found out of the 203, we have the Erasmus Mundus Catalog 4, and we found something related to film, in 4 programs. So we can see the theoretical chemistry and computational modeling. Interesting. I know what this program is in a way, but maybe it's not interested. It might not be interesting to those in the arts, for example, right? That's fine. So we have the film memory, the Joint Masters of Arts in European Film Heritage, History, and Culture. I'm sure CB will love this program because it's almost directly related to what she just mentioned here. So another one here is children's literature, media, and culture entrepreneurship. So this is another interesting one and related. And we have the doc nomads, documentary film directing, EMJMD. So this is another interesting. So from this is how you select, and you see, we are even finding. I have not. Trust me, I think I know only for the first one because it's almost similar to my field, but the rest I've never seen them in my life before, and perhaps maybe any of them may just have started recently, maybe this year. This is how you go about them. So since we began with film, maybe we'll go ahead with that. But let's try maybe another program, and we'll see. So let me go to the chat box. And aside from the film and narrative, okay, there's public health here. There's agriculture, something. Okay, let's check public health. We've taught something on the arts, and let's see someone another aspect on the public health. So so we have the film, and let's check the public health. Okay, let's check. Okay, so we have something here on the public health, directly or indirectly, we don't know, but we just have to search. So the first one, we have responsible futures, European Joint Masters in Design and Care. So this is something interesting, I think. You may want to look further to know what it's all about, indeed. Another one is the International Master in Innovative Medicine. And another one is, as you can see, all of them here. Even skincare, wow. For some of you that might be interested in dermatology that has to do with the skin, I think this is an interesting program, right? So another one is in public health in disaster. Another one here in medical technology and healthcare business. And yeah, and the public health itself, European Master in Public Health. So you have something related to this. So because of we have a wide range of audience here, both on YouTube and on Zoom, and we have among them are STEM and non-STEM, I try to keep an open mind in working with my audience too. So and I saw someone else who posted something on finance. So lastly, I'll use that. That's Abubakar. Let's see if we can find lastly and we move forward. Something on finance. Okay, let's see. I don't know if you're finding this interesting. Whoa, interestingly, I didn't see anything on finance. Okay. This is interesting actually, but maybe we'll have to call it something else. Maybe if not finance, maybe call it something around economics, right? Or I don't know, maybe yeah, economics might be fine. Let's see if we might find something around economics think we should. Oh, we have 17 of them, related to economics. And yeah, so you could see all of this and all of this and all of this. So like I said, when you're searching, keep an open mind. Very well. Keep an open mind in your search. And yeah. So we will just move forward with this. So from here, when you find a program, you want to also know what this program is all about, know more about the program, and that is what you're moving into. So I will start with my own program that has to do with drug discovery. I saw somebody mention drug discovery. So when you search, so this is my own program that has to do with drug discovery, International Masters in Sustainable Drug Discovery. So you come to these link here. Some of them might have it, some they might not have it. If they don't have it, you just click on the one up here. But if they do, ensure you click on the link here. Okay. So here we are on a new page, on a fresh page of this program SDisco. And this program SDisco we are still on the catalog. Take note, we are still on the catalog. We are not out of the catalog. And this is this information you have to know about the about the Erasmus Mundus, the funding. Please, before you move forward into, oh, let me look for the website. I can't find the website. I just want to apply now. No, calm down. Especially for a program you know nothing about, just be calm, take it one step at a time. Now, before we get into about the program, there are some important things you need to know so that you don't waste your time trying to apply for that program. And this information you can see here on your screen are very important information. Now, the first thing you want to look out for, is this program active or is it still ongoing? And that is what you can see here on the project status. You can see here for SDisco, it is still ongoing. And the program, or maybe the funding that was given for this program started on, you can see here on the 1st of January, 2022. And it will end on the 31st of December, 2027. And it has this grant. Yep, it's a big, huge sum of amounts, definitely. So this funding is what will fund every student given a scholarship in the course of their stay in this program. If you're given a full funded scholarship, like I got during my time and a couple of my other friends got, you would be taking, benefiting from this grant, definitely. And of course, it's an Erasmus Plus program with partnership with other universities from other countries, like you would see. And of course, is a type of the Erasmus Mundus Joint Master. So the countries that will be covered for this program, Erasmus Mundus, are 4 countries. Take note of that. Now then, since you've taken note of all of this, now it's time to apply. It's time to know more about the program, the website, and all of that. But also take notes. You can also try to do some calculations in your mind. I do that sometimes. This is just a tip I would just like to give. Now, you can see that this grant is going to end when? In 2027, right? And we are in 2024. So you can assume that, oh, definitely they should still be accepting application. But what if the grant is to end by next year? Do you think the program would still be admitting students this year, right? So you may want to be sure if there will be funding available, especially when the program might end the following year. So be careful about this so you don't get to apply and eventually maybe there's no funding or they were unable to secure more funding and you might just even be given an admission, but you have no funding, so you have to fund yourself at the end of the day. So you might not want that. Most of us here wants the Erasmus Mundus Scholarship. So going forward, you can read everything you want to know or you need to know about the program, what the program entails. Like, keep an open mind. Don't just assume, oh, it's drug discovery. I know what drug discovery is. No, don't say that. Keep an open mind to read in details. Trust me, most of those who have reached out to me on LinkedIn, on WhatsApp, on other social media platforms, I think they ignore the sustainability part of it and they just understand the drug discovery. Trust me, it is not separate, it's joint, and that's what makes the program more unique than you expect. So keep an open mind to know what this program is all about. As for those that want to apply, and any other Erasmus program read about it, be sure that this is what you're interested in, and maybe you love to apply and want to be part of this cohort of scholars in that program. So these are the programs. First of all, it's important to know about the coordinating university. They have several universities, maybe 2 or 3 universities or 4 universities, or maybe 8 universities. Usually, they will have one university that is coordinating the program. So, and they call it the consortium, right? So the coordinating university for this program, the SDSCO, is the Ghent University in Belgium. So that way you can see the coordinator and the address and the university's website and the contacts from the contacts you can reach out to. And the partner universities for this program, the Medical University of Gdansk, you can see here Poland, University, Groningen University, University of Lille in France, and all of that. So and that is how it applies to other programs. So you get to know the countries that apply, our partners with the consortium or the coordinating university with respect to this program. So let's move forward. So for this program, you can get to know about it straightforward to the website. Usually in some programs, they would put the website somewhere here, somewhere around here, or maybe somewhere here. So you have to just keep an open mind to check, search, just navigate carefully. But in this case, the website for this program is not here. So where could it be? Let's go back to the catalog again. And okay, maybe we'll click here. And if we click here, it should lead us to the program indeed. And voila, here we are. This is the website of this program, the SDSCO program, the International Master in Sustainable Drug Discovery. So it's either you click on the link below or you click on the exact link I showed you, which is this one here. Yeah, this link here will take you to know more about the funding and maybe like some basics about the program. You cannot apply on the catalog, but the catalog gives you access to the website through which you can now apply. So this is where you get to know about the program maybe briefly, and maybe the grants and the funding, or whether it's active or not, or whether it's an Erasmus program or not, and all of that, like I've shown you. Then you want to know maybe more about the program and apply to the program. So here is the website of this program itself. That's the International Master in Sustainable Drug Discovery. So you can also get to know more about the program and everything you need to know. And from there, you want to navigate through the menu bar to say, okay, this is the application, how to apply, news. For me, I remember that when I was applying, I had to navigate through everything, how to apply, news, updates, students' life. I read through everything then. Like I wanted to really know what it's like to be a student of the program, all about the program, what they expect of me, the nature, like get a feeling as though you are part of the program eventually, right? So I think this is really important. So this is that for my own program. You want to apply, and from there read the instructions carefully. I always advise, please read the instructions carefully. Very, very important. Don't rush. Be calm. Get a cup of water or a glass of juice and be calm and take it bit by bit. Be sure you understand everything here so that when you are applying, you dot your I's, you cross your T's, you show you're doing the right thing, right? So get through the application procedures. For other programs, it might be arranged differently, but ensure that I think it's kind of easy. All Erasmus Mundus website programs I've seen, generally, they're not complicated. So they're quite kind of easy to navigate, especially through the menu bar. You can always see that application or apply here or something like that. So take note of the deadlines, the application forms, and every other thing. So I think I'll pause here. If there are questions which will come up later on, and if there are nothing here else I've not, maybe something else I've not covered here, then you will let me know. Then I will go over there maybe during the Q&A session. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. This was great. Like, I really enjoyed it, and it was very engaging and interactive and very practical. I see someone asked, after this, what next? You start applying. That's why he explained all these things to you. After finding the program, you apply, okay? So, and for those applications, the next speaker, Adepelumi will explain to us the things that will be needed for all these applications and how to write your CV and how to write your motivational letter, which is very important to winning this very scholarship. So let's have Adepelumi explain. I hope you guys really enjoyed, so show some love in the chat if you enjoyed the first session. Okay. I'm trying to. Okay, Adepelumi, please, can you go forward to. Is it here?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay. I've been trying to make you co-host, but I didn't see your name. Can you share your screen?
Yeah. Send me a request.
Allow. Okay, that's great. Nice to see you.
Okay. Good day, because I know we have, can I start? Can I start? Can you all
Yes,
hear
you
me?
can. Go on. You have the floor.
Can you all hear me? Please, should in case you missed me at any point, you can just let me know. So
Right.
I will just be speaking to my system. Okay. Like the presenter said, my name is Adepelumi Funsho or Osikoya, and I'll be presenting or talking more about document, the motivation letter, which sometimes can be taken for SOP, statement of purpose, and the curriculum vitae, while some program will actually consider it a resume, whichever way it is. We'll be talking or be covering all those aspects today. But before I do anything, I would want to ask this question. I don't think, okay. Okay. There will be a whiteboard. Yeah. Can you all see the whiteboard? Can we access the whiteboard?
Not at all.
Okay, I think I can see it here.
Yeah, I can see the whiteboard.
Any other person?
I can see the whiteboard.
I can see the whiteboard, yeah.
Okay. Following what Victor said, thanks to Victor, he has done the needful. And the next thing is for us to gather our materials, our document. And as we know, I think we are, to some extent, we are halfway gone when it comes to 2024, 2025 window. I want to know how prepared you are. Can you please just mention or type those documents you know you have already gotten? If you cannot do it here, you can do it in the comment section. Just type those ones you have so we can start from there. Because we're moving right from here to document. If you're finding it difficult to use the board, you can just try to use the chat box. It will be fine. Okay. SOP, okay. A draft of your SOP. Someone said a draft of the SOP. I'll try to follow up on the comment section as well. You can use the text as well. Okay, you can use the text. You can use the text as well.
Yes, using text is better.
Yeah.
Drawing covers everything up.
Yeah, it's just messy. It's messy, right? You can switch to text. Okay, I can see it. Don't worry. We can manage to see it. SOP, CV, passport. Okay. Transcript. Okay. Okay. CV. Okay. Passport. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
From the YouTube, someone said transcript, another person said SOP, and another person said passport.
Yeah.
From YouTube. Yeah.
Okay, from YouTube. That's great. I think we're on the same page now. We'll be starting with passports, like you mentioned, CV and all like that, the document. The first thing I would like us to to see together here will be the CV. Yeah, CV. Can you all see my screen? Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Yes, we can.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Yes.
Yes, we can.
Yes,
Okay.
we can see.
Fine. The first thing is your CV, and we're talking much about the CV later in this presentation. So I want to waste much of our time here. The second one is the statement of purpose and motivation letter. We'll talk about this in the next slide as well. But I want you to take this seriously, these two things seriously. And again, I will mention that in which you need to take serious. Although every document is very important, but there are some things there are some documents you should not dare make mistakes while you are trying to put them together. And again, ensure that whatever you are putting in your CV corresponds to what you'll be claiming in your statement of purpose or motivation letter. That's where some of us miss it. We tend to say that we have worked as an intern for so years in a particular institution, but while you are trying to write our statement of purpose, we are trying to say something else within that same year, and it's not in our CV. And next thing is transcripts and certificates. Although some of these programs may not really require that you submit your certificate, but some will do. But in my own case, can you see this side? The required document here.
Yes, we can. It's tiny, but we can try to see it.
Okay, tiny. Can you manage to see it from there?
Yes, I can. I can see it.
Okay, so this happens to be the required document from my program admission page. And mind you, let me say this: EMJM, International Masters in Central and East European, Russian, and Eurasian Studies. EMJM, my current program, does not have a funding for next cohort. So maybe they will try to apply and get a new and get their grant renewed. But as for now, the grant got exhausted. I think with this current cohort. So if you are applying, please check the website. It's stated there that there is no Erasmus Mundus scholarship available this year. So moving on to the required document, you see here that we have transcript, and we have degree certificate. Same thing is applicable to some programs like HEMAS. You probably have your degree certificate submitted or requested for. And this certificate sometimes may extend to your secondary school certificate and transcript. I could remember when I was submitting my application for HEMAS, I was required to submit my secondary school certificate, and some programs require that you submit your secondary school transcript as well. So no document should be taken for granted at any point. Every document is important. As you progress in your academic journey, ensure you keep your documents. I didn't really know until I got to that stage of applying to one of those programs, and I was required to submit my secondary school transcript from GSS 1 to SS3 in case of Nigerian education system. So transcript and certificate. The fourth one is proof of English language proficiency. This happens to be a kind of complicated issue in recent times, where people from English-speaking countries always show their grievances towards these requirements. But there's nothing we can do about it. there's nothing we can do about it. Sometimes the programs try so much to ensure that they try to beat down the competition and ensure that the pool of application is so small for them to be able to review. So and they put some things together. So proof of English language certificate, and there are some other ways you can actually prove this. If you have done WAEC, you can use it if you're applying to any program with University of Glasgow being the coordinating institution. You probably will have the opportunity to present your WAEC. As far as I'm concerned, I think during my time, all I submitted was just my WAEC certificate, and afterwards I was requested to submit a result checker. So it might still be the case, but I'm not sure. It might still be the case whereby you're going to be asked to submit a result checker. That is if you're applying to programs where the lead institution happens to be University of Glasgow, which I'm very sure of. Yes. So they probably ask you to submit your WAEC certificate in as much as you have a C6 in your English language. The next one is reference or recommendation letters. This aspect I always want to emphasize this aspect so well. Many of us make the mistake of submitting a generic reference letter or just telling your referee to submit anyhow a reference letter. It is something else. Avoid it. Is as important as your statement of purpose in some programs. Yes, it is as important as your statement of purpose in some programs. Please ensure that whatever the referee is saying or stating in that letter correspond or try to speak more to what you have said in your what's it called, in your CV or statement of purpose. That would actually help you more. That will help you more. Oh, okay. I think something is happening. That will actually help you. Yeah. Means of identification is not compulsory that this is your passport photo page, but in my own case here, for my program, you would see that what they requested for as at then was passport photo page. Passport photo page. But here you may not find anything like SOP or statement of purpose or motivation letter. The reason is that the motivation letter is being attached to the application form. So all you need to do is just to copy and paste it into the application form. Then you print the application form to submit directly. So this covers the motivation letter or statement of purpose, as you like to call it. So this is the place now. Our SOP, statement of purpose, motivation letter. This actually defines you so well because it speaks more of your analytical skills, your critical thinking, and some other factors that have been looked into.
Hello.
Hi.
Sorry, you can continue. I think that's a distraction.
Okay. Can you hear me now?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay. So the first thing is your introduction. This introductory part is very important. first impression lasts longer. I would advise that you go through it again and again. If it's going to take you 1 trillion times to do this, please do it. Please do it. This is where the question of how does a personal statement look, how does motivation letter, how does that motivation letter look as well, and statement of purpose. Yes, I'll try to differentiate it here. If you are trying to write your statement of purpose, ensure that you check this website, the program website, to confirm there is no form of prompt. Those programs usually have prompts. If there is no form of prompts, then you can just go ahead and put these things together. But to differentiate it, motivation letter, your personal statement talks more about you, then delves more into your motivation and your skills, your academic and all. But your statement of purpose sometimes may tend to focus more on your motivation rather than your personal experience. But you can actually include it, but in a situation or case where you have limited word count, you have to prioritize your motivation. But if you are not limited to any word count, you can extend it to including your personal experience, as in your personal your background, your background. So you just include your academic background and your professional background, just to complement whatever you are saying or your motivation. Sometimes you can use the structure I have here, like your introduction, then from your introduction, you go to your motivation. Please explain what has actually interested you, what has actually motivated you to say, okay, I want to study this particular course. It's not like I just want to study the course. And one of those things you can do that you can mention is your research interest, which probably would actually align with that of the faculty members. So you can go through the website, check the area of interest of these faculty members, see the one that actually aligns with yours, then mention it here. You can mention research opportunities. Yeah, mention the research opportunities presented or that would that the program has actually mentioned on their website. Mention internships. Hello, any problem?
I think there is no problem. It's people that didn't mute themselves. You can continue, please.
Okay, no problem.
Yeah.
So, so mention specific courses. I think I would try to emphasize this when I'm talking about the CV. Do online courses, take mocks. There are a lot of free online courses you can do to boost your profile. Then in between, if you have that opportunity, I would suggest that you mention something related to your proposed research. If it's a theme or a topic, ensure it is there, and try to carry out, just try to mention the plan you have, what kind of method you want to use for such research. How will you gather data? You can just do that, so they have an idea of the fact that you are actually prepared for a graduate program. So skills and personal qualities. So mention your skills, mention your strengths. In most cases, what I do is that I go to the website, I check most of those things they do more. Of course, research skill will be one of them, but there are other skills that can actually speak more to my candidacy than any other thing. So I check them, I check what they do, I check what will be needed. Some of those programs, they have podcasts, they actually operate this podcast stuff. You can go there and If you know something about it, you can mention it there. If you are good at presentation, I know they have series of presentation or conferences, then you can chip it in too. These are skills that we should mention. Cultural awareness and communication skills. These are skills we can actually use in selling ourselves. Career plans and goals. This is very important. This aspect is very important. We cannot but always, talk about career plans and goals. Please, you can divide it into short, medium, long-term goals. If you know you don't have a medium-term goals, usually the short-term goals should be immediately. What do you want to do after you are done with the program? Ask yourself the question. You can actually say that, oh, after the program, you would like to go for a PhD, which many people always claim. But you may want to change the narrative and say, oh, I don't want to, I'm not doing a PhD, right? I want to do something else. Or maybe I want to work with social organization, or I want to go back to my home country to actually resume a senior or position in so you mentioned the position. That shows that you have a plan, but ensure that your plan aligns with what you have been mentioning, or aligns with what you had actually claimed while you are actually writing the statement of purpose. Be consistent. Be consistent. You can't say that you are into A, and suddenly when you get to your career plan, you now say, oh, what you want to do now is Z. These are things they look out for. Are you consistent? Does it really match? You are talking about gender. All of a sudden, after you are done with your studies, with your specialization in gender studies, you now want to go and do something else in metaphysics. Something is not clear. Let's be clear enough as to what you want to do immediately. That is really very, very important. Immediately after your program, what do you want to do? Ask yourself the question. Sometimes we don't really have medium-term goals, right? We don't really have medium-term goals, but the long-term goals should be there. Okay, you can just make searches on world or renowned institutions, UN institutions or UN agency that actually does something related to your area of interest. Then you can key it in that you would like to eventually work with, your long-term goal is to work with so agency, or to work with UNDP, United Nations Development Program. If your area of interest is based on growth, development, or sustainable development goals, you can ensure that you can actually claim that your long-term goal is to work with United Nations Development Program. That gives you an edge. So you can say you want to go back to your home country to resume a senior position or whatever. That is for your short-term goal. But your short-term goal is very important. Think about it very well. Short-term goal and long-term goal, and your conclusion. All those things you have said, if you have the time, right? Sometimes if it's very short, if you have this short word count limit, you can just close it with just a sentence, but always have a conclusion. Always have a conclusion. You can just try to bring those things together and say you would appreciate if so, or having said all this, it is clear that you are a fit candidate for this program, as it's going to do so thing in helping you achieve your goals, and those are the ways you can actually come up with your conclusion. Okay. Can you all hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
if there is anything you want to say in the course of it, just let me know. So I wouldn't take us too far. Okay, academic CV. While Victor was presenting, I noticed somebody asked a question in the comment section related to CV. Fine. Not all programs would require that you submit Europass CV. Not every program requires that you submit Europass CV. Some will not even mention it, just CV, while some will mention it. Again, I will say that sometimes if your program does not mention the number or the length of the CV, as far as Erasmus is concerned, I will advise you, please, I would advise you, put a lot of information as much as you know, but then don't just misuse the opportunity by putting relevant things there. I could remember the CV that got me this scholarship, and I think I got like one interview, then 2 reserved list or so. And the same CV got me some other scholarships outside Erasmus scheme. I used this, I think this CV happens to be about 8 pages. Europass CV 8 pages. Because of the way Europass kind of structured, you may need to use so much pages. But do not mind, as far as the program does not mention that you have to, you are limited to 2 pages, 3 pages, but ensure that you put something relevant. You add something relevant. Don't just put stuff that you don't need. Don't put stuff that you don't need. For example, for these certifications, like MOOCs and online courses, if you have too many online courses, you can't put all of them there. As at the time I was actually applying for my Erasmus program, I had over 80 online certifications. I could not put all of them there. All I was always doing was just to put the best 10 that fits that program. The best 10, sometimes best 5 that fits that program. You can't put all of them there. So that brings us to the fact that you shouldn't put anyhow stuff on the CV. Don't choke it. Don't just make it look messy because you want to impress the reviewer. But if you have enough, you have done enough. If you have done enough, please don't hide it. Sell yourself. Don't hide it. You are competing with the global scholars. Many people that have actually graduated as a top student in their schools, even in their countries. So don't hide your skills. Okay, the first thing is education. On that CV, after your personal information, your contact, and some other things that you should include, the next thing should be your education. Please add your education, and the major information you should include is the type of degree. If it's a bachelor, it's also something, Bachelor of Science in Education, include it, the institution name, date of study, months and year, probably are kind of reasonably important. So that should be fine. Relevant coursework, yes. Relevant coursework. If you know that your research topic aligns well with the program, you can add your research topic. But if not, please go check your transcript and see those courses that you have done that align so well with the objective of the program. So prioritize those ones than using your project or using your topic.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, I was trying to send you a message. Your time is remaining like 3 minutes.
Okay, no problem. No problem. I didn't say it.
Okay.
Okay. Yes. So then you had your if you have a very good grade, GPA, just add it. it's going to really help you. Just add it if you have a good GPA. Then your work experience, if you have done internship somewhere, you have done some kind sort of work somewhere, if this work, ensure that those works, those experiences are actually those kind of experience are aligned with that program. Don't just put any experience there, and ensure that whatever you are doing there aligns with what the program would want to see. Then achievements, your academic achievements, can put those, your award, your honors, and some other stuff that you know that would interest the reviewer. And this is why I actually did this to this publication and conference presentation. It's intentional. You can please separate this part, publication and conference presentation. Publication, most especially if you have a publication, if you have publications, please have a separate section for it, then highlight those publications. Volunteering or extracurriculum activities. If you have volunteered with some sort of organization, please list it. These reviewers will always want to see where you have done stuff without getting to be paid, or getting to have, or it shouldn't be like you are just working without any extracurricular activities, without any internship, without any volunteering service, or rather. So volunteer, if you have any volunteer experience, please include it. And certifications, like I mentioned, please do online courses. Try to take online courses like MOOCs. You can check Coursera. You can check the Open University United Kingdom for non-STEM. Yes, you can check those ones. For STEM too, you can check. You definitely see some stuff there that interest you. And skills, add your skills. You can find that here. Add your skills, then add your reference or your referee's information. You can add your referee's information. I think if any other question comes up in relation to this presentation, I'll provide answers to it in the course of the question and answer section. Thank you.
Thank you very, very much. That was very engaging and very good for us. And I hope a lot of people have learned from this how to write their... Can you see me? Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Yes.
Okay.
We can hear you, welcome. We cannot see you yet.
Oh, okay. I like seeing myself when I'm talking, but it's no problem, even if you can't see me now.
No, we
So
can see you now.
Okay, great. So thank you very much, Adepelumi. We really appreciate that very session and how engaging it started with, and explaining everything that we need to include in your CVs and how to write. There are a lot of questions. Please, as we hear from the next speaker, Grace, please, Adepelumi, you can also join in the question and answer session where participants drop their questions and we respond to different questions. I've been responding, Grace has been responding, Victor has been responding, and that's what we are trying to do to ensure that we cover up as many things as we need to cover up today. So please keep dropping your questions in the Q&A session. Don't drop it in the chat because it gets buried up there, okay? I hope you are enjoying this, and shout out to everybody that is here from different countries, from Kenya, Zambia, Nigeria, Pakistan, people on YouTube. We really appreciate that you are here. We are here just to give back to the community, wherever, because Erasmus really did us good, and we want you to partake in such a wonderful scholarship, okay? So keep listening, and as we listen to Grace on the interview and how to prepare for your interviews after you are being called. Okay, Grace, you can take over. Thank you.
All right. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Finally. Thank you very much for this session, and hello to everyone. And I hope you find this presentation impactful and engaging. So I'll be taking you through the interview for the Erasmus Mundus Scholarship, what to expect, and how to answer the questions. I'm going to be using my computer here, but Victor is helping me to share the screen over there. So can we move to the next page? Okay. So I want you to keep these tips in mind. I'm going to take you through what to expect before the interview, during the interview, and after the interview. Next slide, please. So before the interview, congratulations, you've submitted your document, you've gotten the email, you've been invited for an interview. Congratulations, but that is not the end. You actually have to prepare. Preparation is key. So don't just stop there. Try to look to get the basics of your program. Information like the countries involved, the universities involved, types of semester you're going to take, specialization, and other information like that, because these questions can actually come up during the course of the interview. Also, interview is a two-way thing. As you're trying to prepare answers for the likely questions that the panel is going to ask you, also try to come up with your own questions too. So essentially, you should be able to come up with like 1 or 2 questions to ask them at the end of the interview. So it could be centered around your research area, it could be centered around studies, administration, and other information like that. So also, there's something you need to note in terms of time difference, especially if you are in a country that is not in the EU. Sometimes during winter or spring or something like that, there's something they call daylight saving. Whereas, I mean, in which Europe might actually go back or forward by 1 hour or something like that. So you should take note of the time difference, because a lot of people have actually fallen victim of this, in the sense that people think maybe it's just 2 hours difference and there may be a day to the interview and the time just changed. So you need to be very careful of the time difference. Make sure you are actually up to date with the time difference in Europe. So explore the app you use. It's very common for people to overlook the types of application. You know, most people, when they see an invitation for an interview, automatically they think it's going to be Zoom. So, but it's not the case. Sometimes your supervisors or your professors that want to interview you could use Skype, they could use Microsoft Teams, they could use Google Meet. So make sure you check the email properly, check the type of application you're going to be using for your interview. And if you do not have the application, make sure you download it, sign up, create a profile, test run the application. So also familiarize yourself with it. Some people, maybe they are not conversant with the use of Skype. Some people are just used to using Zoom. So make sure you familiarize yourself with the way the application works, so that when it's time for the interview, you don't end up struggling to, to get the buttons right or something like that. And also have a backup internet connection. And this is not an issue of I'm from a developing country or underdeveloped country or developed country. This is a general issue. Because some months ago when I was in France, we had an issue with the electricity connection, and then the whole Wi-Fi just went down. So it could happen to anybody. So in this situation, make sure you have a backup internet connection, so that in case something happens to the main one, you can always apologize and then switch the backup internet connection. So also before the interview, make sure your audio and your video are working properly. Make sure your devices are in good condition. Your headphones or earpiece or whatever you're using are working. Not the type of headphone you'll be speaking and they won't hear you, or you can hear that they won't hear you, or something like that. Make sure everything is working in perfect condition. You can also test your setup maybe a day before, test run it, maybe create like a mock interview. Try to interview somebody, or somebody can interview you, just to check if everything is working properly. And also be creative and strategic. I'll give you an example of what I did when I was undergoing an interview for sport management course. I was thinking of something I could do that would create an impression in the hearts of the interview panel. So what I did was I looked for 3 metal rods, like a pole. I created like a bar at my back, and then I hung my sport medals at the back. So during the course of the interview, one of the professors asked me if I was in the sports shop. And I said, no, that these are actually the medals I got from participating in sport. So that actually created a sort of impression to them, which sort of helps along the way. So I'm not saying you should hang your medals or something, but you can also be creative with your background. If you don't have a medal, if you don't have something to show, it's okay. But it's very nice to also be creative. And then also, watch interview videos online, but do not overwhelm yourself with interview videos. Because in some videos, somebody might tell you it's okay to sit back. Some people might tell you it's okay to move forward to the camera and all. So do not overwhelm yourself with videos, but it's okay to watch one or two just to get yourself familiar with the rudiments of interviews. You can also practice with your friends. And it's okay to practice with people so that you can test your speaking skills. Also, do not cram, but try to understand. I've been able to do some some mock interviews for applicants for my programs, and then there are some people that the moment they start speaking, I can tell this person crammed what he or she was saying. So do not cram. You're basically talking about yourself, what you have to offer, why they should select you. So it's something that should be coming out of genuineness, not something that you should be lying about. So you don't have to cram. You should just say things the way you understand them. And also, a few hours before your interview, you can do something that calms you, maybe a sort of meditation on anything, just to process the conversation better. Let's move to the next slide, please. Let's move to the next slide. Victor. Okay, yeah, thanks. So during the interview, now moving to the interview proper. So you have to be punctual. If your interview is by 6 p.m., make sure you log in maybe like 10 minutes before 6 p.m. That's like 5:50. And dress well. You don't have to suit up or something. If you want to suit up, it's okay, but semi-formal dress is actually okay. What I'm putting on is okay. So you enter the meeting link ahead of time, check your setup if everything is working properly. And then if you are the only one online, please do not log out. Just wait. It's okay to be tensed up that what is happening, nobody is coming up and all. Anything could have happened. Maybe the person before you that was being interviewed before you had some sort of connection issues that caused some sort of delay. So just make sure you stay online until the end of your interview time. Maybe they said your interview is for 15, 20 minutes. Just wait until then before you can actually log out. So look at your screen directly, just the way I'm looking at my screen. Sit up in a comfortable position or space. All these things can actually help you to also boost your confidence. And be polite, of course. You smile. You can't just enter a meeting and say good afternoon, and you're just frowning and all. Smile, like release a positive and good energy. So greet your professors if you know their titles. Hello, professor this, professor that. If you don't know them, hello, sir, hello, ma. It's okay. And then be prepared, of course. You should expect both easy and challenging questions because sometimes there are formats that some interviewers use, and then sometimes they might decide not to use that format. So be prepared. The questions might be easy and they might be challenging. So also, like I said, be positive. Nothing beats the positive attitude and atmosphere. Always smile. You don't have to overlap or something, but just always put a smile on your face. Let's move to the next slide. Okay, so some extra sweet drops for you. I call them sweet drops. They're just little tips here and there. It's okay to be tensed, honestly. Even the most popular public speakers sometimes have some sort of tension and everything. So it's okay to be tensed, but don't mess it up. It's normal. Do not be too hard on yourself because you feel you're tense. Don't let it get to you. So most of the time, when you log in and they start your interview, the first question is always tell us about yourself. So this is a very easy question. You want to talk about yourself and then you are tensed already. Okay, so now tell us about yourself. So use this moment to ease into the interview, to try to cool down your tension. Very easy. You're talking about yourself. My name is Grace. I'm from Nigeria. I love sports. I've been doing sports from a very young age. So little by little like that. And then don't exaggerate, please. Make your story interesting. Tell us about yourself. We don't want to sound boring, but at the same time, do not exaggerate, but make sure your story is actually interesting. Because these people might be very tired. They might have been interviewing people all day. Maybe you're the last person and they're just telling them a boring story. Try to be as interesting as possible and cheerful too. So most times I tell people when you're answering this question, tell us about yourself. Try to structure it from the past to the present and then to the future. In my own case, I told them, my name is Grace. I'm from Nigeria. I'm from a family of 5. And I've developed interest in sports from a very young age. I was always playing football with my brother and his friends. When they heard that, they were smiling and all. Then when I got registered to school, I was taking a subject called physical education. And from there, I represented my school in athletics competition. And when I got to university, I studied human kinetics. I played football in this, little by little from the past, the present, and then what you're doing, what you're going to do in the future. So gesticulate minimally. It's okay to, the way I'm using my hands to gesticulate. Sometimes it shows confidence, unlike you sitting back and saying, okay, I'm trying to talk about this, talk about that. So most times when you gesticulate with your hands, sometimes it exceeds confidence, but do not overdo it. Your answers might lead the interview. So that's why I said you have to be sincere in everything you say, because maybe what you said will lead to the next question. So be very careful in terms of answering questions. So most of the times, interviews are generally between 15 to 20 minutes, most times not beyond that. It might look like forever when you're on the hot seat, but most of the time between 15 to 20 minutes. Questions are mostly centered around your CV, your motivational essay. So that is why you need to write these things yourself. Don't give it out to people to do for you, because what exactly is the point? So because most of the time, these interviews will come from all these things. They will have the documents in front of them. They're checking that they're asking you questions. So if there's some sort of irrelevancies there, then that might be the end. So listen carefully and take your time before answering. When they ask you a question, don't rush to answer. Take your time, process the question for some seconds, 3 seconds, or a little bit more before you answer your question. And then speak at a mid-pace. Don't be too slow, don't be too fast. So just for the sake of comprehension, so they can understand you better, because most of them are not native English speakers. So also their accent too might be a bit difficult to understand. So if they ask you a question that you did not hear properly, rather than guessing and giving the wrong answer, just tell them you didn't hear them and politely ask them to repeat the question. But if you do not really understand, just politely ask them to rephrase that question for you. So let's move to the next slide, please. So finally, you're done with the interview. Yay! So after the interview, don't just go lie on your bed and say, I'm done. No, you'll send like a thank you, a short thank you email to the official email of the program. It's just something short. Thank them for the opportunity to get interviewed. Talk about your motivation, shortly about your motivation to still study in the program. Then just that is it, send it to them. And for yourself, you need to clap for yourself. It's not really easy being interviewed. So reflect on how you did. Appreciate your effort so far, and then continue to improve. So move to the next slide. Best of luck. I wish you all the best.
Thank you so much.
Wow, that was awesome. Oh, I love that picture. Thank you very much, Grace. We all really did well, all the speakers. Can you just show some love to our speakers? Because from Victor to Adepelumi and Grace, they have been awesome. Okay, and I hope you, with this, you have been informed about the interview that may be coming up soon for you. And honestly, when you get this interview invite, I would love to hear it. I would love to know that you've been invited for interview. And if you get your scholarship, please come to this YouTube channel. My channel, you can always drop it there and we'll be happy for you and we'll celebrate you, okay? So now we now going to focus on the question and answer session. I don't know whether you can see me.
Yes, we can see you.
You can see me, right?
We can see
okay.
You, yeah.
So now we are going to focus on the question and answer session, and we'll be taking the questions from the Q&A session. So if you dropped your questions there, then you did very well, because that's where we'll be reading from. And we also read from some of the questions we had from the registration form, okay? So the speakers, Victor, Adepelumi, and Grace, please be alert. So whenever I read any question or I bring up any question, any of you can answer. I've made you co-host, so you can always unmute yourself and answer the question if you can. For me, I also will answer any question if I can, because I was an Erasmus Mundus scholar in 2020, from 2020 to 2022. Those on YouTube, please, you are not left alone. If you have any questions, please do well to drop your questions on the chat. If you see my eyes moving the other way, I'm looking at the YouTube. So I'm watching you. I'm trying to see if you are dropping any questions. And if you see me looking towards the side, I'm looking at those on Zoom. Okay, so let's go to the question and answer session. Somebody said, can HND holder apply for the Erasmus Mundus scholarship? Do we have any speaker that had HND? That would be great to answer, or anybody can answer that.
Okay, I didn't have. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Thank you.
Okay, I didn't have HND during my time, anyways, but I could remember that I met someone who did have HND, but the person eventually did a postgraduate degree, postgraduate diploma, and eventually, I think at that time, the person had like 10 years experience, but this person isn't STEM, not in non-STEM. So I've not witnessed anyone who got admitted or who got the scholarship with HND in non-STEM. But for STEM, I think I had witnessed one person.
Okay, what about you, Grace and Victor? Have you witnessed anybody?
Yeah, I heard about someone, I think in my cohort, or I think just like Pelumi said, I think he has I think maybe a master's degree or something. But I think in relation to HND, you have to have a lot of professional experience too. So just something to make up for having like a bachelor's degree. But most times I think you have to like have an equivalent of a bachelor's degree. Right?
Okay, and also one thing I want to mention is this. Please, if you are a Nigerian asking this very question, it's good to to follow the Erasmus Mundus Nigerian page on Facebook. They always post profiles of winning scholars who has won the scholarship. So they post the profile and everything, whether the person have HND or not, you will see it there. Okay, so please, and please don't even limit yourself. You can also send an email to the program email, asking them you have this very degree, diploma, and can you apply for this scholarship? And I don't know whether I don't have anybody that had HND, but I know that HND holders also get this scholarship as well, other scholarships, so including Erasmus, I don't know. So you should, and also if you have upgraded maybe you have publications, you have other courses that you have done online that may equate something, okay? So I think we have answered this very question. And so next one is, does Erasmus work for PhD? As I am an MPhil holder in Pakistan, I need to be sure if it needs masters or PhD, if it leads masters to PhD.
Okay, let me come in for this one. So I think this is an interesting question. This is not the first time I've heard such question before. First of all, it's important to know that it's the Erasmus Mundus itself sponsors only masters itself. But there is also the Erasmus grant. There are some special Erasmus scholarships. Like they are not Erasmus Mundus, like the EMJM, not those ones, but there are Erasmus scholarships, different from what we're talking about now. And they sponsor internships, theses, and I think I've seen a couple of them that even go ahead to sponsor PhD, maybe like a couple of years or so. So it's different from what we're talking about, but you could read about it, and they have conditions. I think you must have been a student in an European university or something like that, maybe a citizen. So there are conditions to them. So you could look that up online for Erasmus scholarships for PhD. They could exist, but it's different from what we're talking about here, like the Erasmus Mundus Joint Masters degree. And indeed, if you participate in any of these programs, like what we're talking about here for the Erasmus Mundus, of course, you earn a master's degree that qualifies you to do a PhD as well. So yeah, that's fine.
Okay, that's great. Thank you very much, Victor, for that response. I hope the person was here to listen to the answer. There is one question I really want to ask. I had a lot of it also on the registration form. Someone asked, please, how can I convert my course to ECTs? Can anybody answer that?
Okay.
How can I convert my course to ECTs?
Okay, I think that's an interesting question. By and large, of course, you know, first of all, you have your transcripts, right? And you have the credits units, right? So you just have to, I think it's just easy for you to count them, right? Calculate them and be sure they are up to the required ECTs for your program, right? Of course, there's a 60 ECT, the 120 ECT, and depending on the program. So you could just count the credits, and from there you can just easily know, because I think the ECT is the European credits assessment something. So just check it up yourself, and it's something you could count from your transcript. I think most transcripts have those credits units for each of the courses you've taken in the course of your undergraduate program. So I think that's all. And if it doesn't match up in a way, please, you could always do well to reach out to the coordinator of your program. They always most times have email addresses in case you have maybe an issue, a question to ask. Just reach out to them and make your inquiries known that, okay, this is the case for you, and ECT is this for the program, where this affects you in a way. So you just need to, because they understand the diversity of students they're bringing in. They know that you're coming from different countries, different maybe curriculum and all of that. They understand this. So you can make that known to them via email. And I think in most cases, they are always happy to respond to your email. Yeah.
Okay, great. Thank you very much, Victor, for that. So from YouTube, we have a question. The person says, please, can one get an Erasmus Mundus scholarship without IELTS or TOEFL? Is English proficiency certificate gotten from UG Uni, undergraduate uni enough? So this person is asking if IELTS or TOEFL is mandatory for Erasmus Mundus course, and if getting a proficiency certificate from their university, it's enough. Can someone answer that, please?
I can.
Okay.
For English tests, it depends. There are some programs that would say it's mandatory, whether you are from an English-speaking country or not. I think for one of the sports programs, even if you're from Nigeria or you speak English or something, they still require to write TOEFL. There are some programs that will tell you if you can submit your letter of English proficiency from your university, it's actually okay. So for the you also ask if it's going to be the UG that would issue the documents or not. Depends on the style your university is using. For my school in UI, if you're trying to use your bachelor's degree results, then you have to go to the undergraduate school to require for the letter of English proficiency. But maybe if you have a master's degree and you also want to use the master's degree results or transcripts too, and also go to your postgraduate school to request for the letter of English proficiency. So, but for the question if IELTS is actually mandatory or not, you have to check your program website to see if they still require it, even though you studied using English as the medium of instruction or communication. So it's up to your program website or the information. You have to check it to be sure if it's mandatory or not.
Thank you very much for that. For some of my colleagues that I know, some of them got the Erasmus Mundus without his IELTS or English proficiency. This was because the program didn't require them particularly. They indicated to the program coordinator or sent an email that they studied in English, and English has been their language of instruction from nursery to second university level. Do they still require to write an English test? So these things boils down to, if you're not clear, if you don't really know, send an email. I always advise people to send an email, but make sure you found all the very important questions from the website before doing so you don't become an unserious candidate, okay? That has been answered. So another person asked, on Disco, I read there will be a short test after the application deadline. Can you please give us some insight on the questions? Thanks. This would just take 1 minute. Please, whoever, Victor, please, can you answer this? Just a few seconds or 1 minute to answer this.
Okay, yes. There is going to be a short test. The tests will have to screen out those who have submitted application to select those who will move into the interview stage proper. So I am not among the selection committee, disclaimer, and I'm just a student who benefited. So I don't even know specifically what they may have looked out for in me, but I know that one way or the other, I think I was a good candidate for them. But what I can say is that indeed some of the things you would want to look out for are topics around organic chemistry, what you've done in your bachelor degree. I know that we have a very diverse, uh, will I say, nature of applicants here. Some people, I think there's someone in the program, I think I think the second year of the master's or first year that is coming from agriculture differently. So it's a very, very diverse program, nature, cohorts in the program here. So we have topics from coming from organic chemistry, physical chemistry, biology, molecular biology, statistics, even programming, like Python programming, just basics, maybe some things that may revolve around proteins and, maybe current affairs, but related to medicine, like when you're talking about regulatory affairs of the FDA, that of the EU and all of that, just to have a feeling of what you know about the field in a way, sustainability, green chemistry, physical chemistry, analytical chemistry, organic. So just the basics of what, so just to be sure that, oh, this person has maybe the needed fundamentals to survive, some of the advanced nature of the courses. So it's important you should, at least you have done those in the courses, maybe on your bachelor's, maybe in the first year, second year. Yeah. So this is just what I can say for now. I can't tell you that this is the question they will ask you. Yeah. Thank
Okay,
you.
thank you very much. Thank you very much, Victor. Okay, so let's try to also make the answering shorter so we can cover as much as possible before the next 15 minutes. And so someone said, must I have a published paper before I apply for Erasmus Mundus Masters?
No.
I think it's not compulsory. You have okay. You can go. You can Grace, you can go on.
Go on, go on.
No, go on.
I mean, it's not really compulsory. It's actually a good addition if you have, but it's not so compulsory. Or depends on the program you're applying for.
Okay, for me, I would say that it is not compulsory, but it makes you competitive in a way. In a general way, like if I think in my cohorts, many people did not have publications, so it's not a necessity. However, when they're taking holistic review of applications, maybe aside from your CGPA, there are other things they want to look out for. Okay, how good is this person? How has this person exposed himself, and stuff like that. But just try to make a good application. The aim here is to make a competitive application and not just a strong application. Like I used to say most times, like it's better to make that. I would always say that a competitive application is a strong application, but a strong application might not be a competitive application. So just have this in mind that whenever you're making applications, be sure it is competitive enough and you will be true to yourself. So yeah.
Okay, great. Thank you very much for that answer. And somebody said, how many pages or what count is sufficient for my motivational letter?
Okay. Can I
Answer that already. Yeah, it depends on the requirement of your program. Some programs might say just a single A4 page. Some might say 2 pages. Some might say 1,000 words. So it depends on what your program requires. So
Okay, thank you very much for that answer. And another person said, is it advisable to upload the recommendation letters ourselves, or we tell the recommenders to send it to them if the program gives us that option?
So I think that's program specific actually, but most programs that I know would, as far as Erasmus is concerned, would allow you to upload it during your application, while some will ask you to provide the referee's information or contact details so that they will send them the link directly. I know of, I think, EMEA or something. a program like that. But in the case of EMIA, IMSE, IMSIS, and some other programs like that, I'm very sure that you have to upload it yourself. You get it from your referees, then you provide it while you're actually submitting the application. But in case you want them to send it directly, there is always a provision, but you can check the reference page for further information on that. I know there's always a way you can send directly to the school.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you very much. I hope that you got your answer, whoever that asked this question. Another person says, I graduated from Department of Mechanical Engineering. Can I ask for a recommendation letter from ICT due to my relationship? So the question I will ask this person is, what's your relationship with this person, with the ICT person you want to get the, did you work with them? Did you work there? Did you do any course there? If this is an academic referee, did you work? Did you do anything there? Did you have any, the relationship should not be just because the person is your friend or because you know the person. The person have to say what you've done with them, how they got to know you, and how you have worked over time with them or something like that, and the skills. So if you're applying to a course that has something to do with ICT, something like that, you can ask this person to send a referee letter, sure. If you don't also have something to do with them, maybe there is a skill or something you did with this person that the person may comment on, which is good. So it's not limited. It just depends on the relevance of the person's CV to your application, okay? So that being answered, we'll go to the next question. Somebody asked from the registration form, said, can you bring in your family members when coming for Erasmus? Does Erasmus support family? And is it okay to bring my family along with me? Please, can someone answer that question? Thank you.
Yeah, I think you can. Erasmus does not stop you from coming to your family, but it's still dependent on the policy, immigration policy of that recipient country. Erasmus will not help you work or would not provide the support when you are trying to bring your dependent. For instance, currently in the UK, right, despite the immigration policy, I think as an Erasmus scholar, you can still bring your dependent. And in some countries too, in Europe, you may find it easy to bring your dependent, and it may be other way around. But there's no place on the Erasmus page stating that you cannot bring your dependent. I think you have it actually depends on the immigration policy of the recipient country.
Can I add something to that?
Okay, yes, you can.
Okay. So as much as possible, Erasmus will not tell you not to bring your dependents or whatever, but I think it's a bit it's going to be a bit complicated because Erasmus is a mobility program. You're going to a country for maybe for a semester for like 3 months. Before you're done, you're moving to another country again, which might be, these are like the complexities of the Erasmus being a mobility program. So if you're thinking of taking your dependents, you have to consider that factor too. Okay, if you're going to maybe starting in France, okay, you're going to put them in France. Are you working? Is there something to sustain them? You know, different questions like that. So just make sure you're all round prepared before taking that bold step. Yeah, that's it.
Okay, thank you very, very much. And there is a question I want to read out here. Somebody said, please, can only first class and 2-1 holders apply for this scholarship? Can someone just 5 seconds answer this question, please?
Okay, no, it's open to everyone. First
Yeah,
class, second class upper, second class lower. During my cohorts, we had a number of second class lower who got Erasmus scholarship, so it's not limited.
Great, thank you very much. There is a continuation. If you don't have any of these extracurriculum activities or standard education experience like you listed out, does that mean you won't have an advantage?
Is that me?
Yeah, anybody can answer this. if you don't have if you have extracurricular, can you apply? Yes, you can still apply. Okay, your standard education is there. I always tell people, do something that is very beneficial. If you have the opportunity to volunteer, do so. Okay, these are not just because of scholarship. It also exposes you to a lot of networks and a lot of information and getting to know people that will help you in one way or the other. And also engaging in something that will contribute to your community development or something like that. And at the end of the day, you will benefit in using it to apply for some scholarships that may be of your interest. Okay, so don't just sit around. I tell people, you see, Pelumi said he had like lots of courses in addition to his basic normal education. So have those things, do something. Don't just stick towards pressing phone and doing all that and thinking that one day scholarship is going to fall. Even though I had colleagues who didn't do all that from other countries, but trust me, if you're coming from any country, that will be an edge, especially. Let's take, for example, there are courses that won't take more than one person from their country, from a particular country. Let's say in Nigeria, I'm from Nigeria, and this course will not take more than one Nigerian or two. Some programs have that very specific requirements. Now, let's say you are competing with all other Nigerians, and you are not up with your game. The other people will compete and shine more than you. Knowing the country you come from, everybody is doing well. So you need to also do the game. Okay? So know that you are not just competing with people from different parts of the world, more than how many countries in the world. You are competing with also your own country people, because some programs can't take more than 3 of your country people. Okay? So you have to show what you've got. And someone said, can someone who had a BSc in agriculture study public health for masters? I will answer these questions because I am from the agricultural background. I'm a food scientist. So if you want to apply for public health, of course, there is an area in food where there is an area in public health for the food and agricultural people, disciplines. Now you have to link it. That's why I said, before you apply for a scholarship or a program, always look at the course models. Maybe some public health courses, they are majorly for medical areas. So when we look at the course models and there is nothing relating to food safety and all that, then that program, you are not really sure if you should apply. But if it's a broad public health course, it should have some areas or models that will offer food safety of anything food related. Then you can come in from that angle, okay? So that's it. You can check the course model and then see whether you can apply. So this question has been answered. Another person said, my international passport has expired and currently undergoing renewal process. Can I use the data page of the expired one in my application? Please, can someone answer to this question? Thank you.
Okay, let me come in here. I think this might be risky, and I think you should not use it yet. I would suggest you inquire, you ask questions about this, maybe to the immigration office or sorry, to the immigration office or something like that. If you can use this prior to when you get the new passport. So, but to be on the safe side, I would not use that. Trust me. So because of maybe complications in the future, should you be selected for the program?
Exactly. So me too, I will not use that as well. I'll wait and reprocess. The deadlines that's why you should apply early enough. So ensure if there is a way to fast track your process of getting your passport, that's fine, but don't submit that. I have a question here. I have 1 published paper and 14 currently under review. Can I add those under review to my CV? That's adding 14 under review. Somebody should answer that, please.
Okay, maybe I should. Okay, Pelumi, you want to go ahead? Maybe you should go first.
You can go ahead. You can go ahead.
Okay, okay. So I will just speak of this from 2 aspects. what is important and put in so many things. Now, I understand many times we want to like embellish the CV with so many things and prove that we are, we have done this, we have done that. I often tell some people that you can have so many things and have nothing at the same time. So it's not by making it up to 10 pages. Moreover, I won't advise your CV for such kind of application to exceed 3 pages or 4 pages. Like, it's an academic CV and it should be specific. So even if all of the 14 are relevant to what you're applying for, just pick a few. They're not going to read your publications. It's just to show that you've done something. So you can just have like 3 publications or 4 publications. But to be more specific about this question, I would just say, if they're not published yet, why put them up there? On the other hand, if you're going to have a CV and you have maybe like published, under review, and manuscripts in preparation, I think this would also fit in. So you have to create these subcategories under the publication subsection in your CV. So under the publication, you can have published manuscripts. So you just list them in a references style. Don't just write the name there, like in a references style. I prefer most times to use APA, except there is an exception, or maybe they have a specificity, a specific format or style by the program. I prefer to use APA style over referencing. Then you could also use similar style for the next section, that is manuscript under review. You put it up there. Then the next section, manuscript in preparation. So I think your case is they have not yet been submitted, or if they have been submitted, I don't know, but you know where to place them based on these categories I've mentioned. So, but you don't have to put all the 14, please. Like, it's going to make it look so you're not applying for a professorial position. It's a master's program. So just put a few, maybe 3, 4, it's okay. Yep.
Thank you very much, Victor, for that. So somebody asked, how do I go about notarization of our documents?
I don't know.
Okay,
Okay. Yeah, you can go. You can.
okay, I think most people mix this thing up. There's notarization, there's legalization, and but what I know is just legalization, and which can only be done at the ministries of education and also foreign affairs in Abuja. That's what I know. Yeah.
Okay, let me just speak to that. So just like Tolulope mentioned, there is notarization and there's legalization. I don't know if this person is speaking from Nigeria or outside Nigeria, but this may be depending on the case. But let me just speak from Nigeria, then you can ask based on your own country. But for Nigeria, you go to the Ministry of Education, then you go to the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, right? You call them the MOFA. Then from there, you go to your embassy for the proper legalization, because what you do in MOE, which is Ministry of Education, and MOFA, Ministry of Foreign Affairs, are just what they call authentications. So after the authentication procedure, you have to move to the embassy for formal legalization. Without the authentication, you can do the formal legalization at the embassy. For notarization, you are supposed to do it with a lawyer at the Supreme Court. So they do it at a court of law by a lawyer to attest that this document is original, something like that, or it's the original document that you're providing. So if you need more information about that, you can check that with your country, or based on how it is recognized or how it is done in your country. Yeah.
Thank you very much for that. And we are running out of time because we really want to keep it at 2 hours, but we'll take, let's say, 3 questions from others. We may decide to have another session for question and answer where we can answer this question specifically. Okay, so this question says, is it advisable? Oh no, we've answered this. Okay, I'm a student of biochemistry, currently working on the toxic effects of toxicants from fruits. I'm interested in SD scope. Can I include this as part of my CV?
Okay, I'm a student of biochemistry currently working on a toxic effects of a toxicant on fruits. I'm
Yes.
interested in SD school. Can I include this as part of my CV?
Yeah.
Include it as what? What do you want to include it as? Maybe, in my opinion, I would suggest, or I would expect that you want to put it as something you're working on as a research experience, right? So maybe you're a research assistant, or maybe you're doing this for your thesis. You could put it under your research experience subsection, right? And describe it appropriately in your CV. Yep, that is, you can include it definitely. If it's something, maybe a part of the work has been published, you can put it in the public. So yeah, it's fine to include it.
So somebody asked, are there programs that don't require recommendation letters? Really, we will not spend time answering these questions, because if your program website doesn't show that you should submit referee letter, then they don't need it. They may need it when you're already selected, okay? So yes, there are programs that may not require it at the point of application, but they will require it later in the application process, okay? And another question is, I want to apply for SD-Scope program. The program demands transcript to have my position in class and total cohort size mentioned, but it is not, and my university is not providing any such document. What should I do?
Okay. Well, I think you could also write to them, to the program, and tell them this is the state of things for you. Like I said, they appreciate the fact that you're coming from a different country and all of that, different style of doing things in a way. So you could write to the program and make this known to them so that perhaps when they are going to be reviewing your application, this would be considered. On the other hand, I don't expect this to hamper your application or the potential of you being considered. So I would suggest, if I were you and this was the case for me, and maybe I sent an email and the delay to give me feedback and the deadline is very close, I will just go ahead and use the transcript, like just submit. So at least you never know what might turn up for you. So please just go ahead. If there's a delay in feedback, you're not getting any response. This may not be your case. In my own school, this school I finished from for my undergraduate, there was no specific position for me, right? Again, of course, it's just the CGPA and the class of grade. That's all. I think that's it for him.
Okay, so just one more question, and then we can make decision after that. Somebody asked, what are the eligibility criteria? Please rewatch this video from beginning so you will hear all the eligibility criteria. And this same person asked, does the Erasmus Mundus scholarship application require any application fee? No, right? I never paid for any application.
Yeah, but
there are actually some programs that require, like one of the sports courses I applied for, they require like 90 euros for the application fee, non-refundable.
Oh,
So
really?
some programs,
yes,
some programs
currently
require.
too, there is a program, MFPP MAP. It's for the non-STEM. So yeah, you are required to pay a sum of, I think, 30 euros or something. But while some require that you pay the application fee, they would mention that they would refund the money after some time. But for some, you have to pay and it won't be refunded.
Okay. Somebody said, throw more light on the course description, syllables or description of on official translation into English. If asked additional degrees, I have a master's in biochemistry. Can I fill that in?
Sorry, I didn't really get that clearly.
The person says, number one, throw more light on this course description. Course description, it's on the program website.
Yeah.
Check that on the program websites to see the course models that you are going to study. And then syllable or the description of course, the same thing I just said, official translation into English. Now, this is for people who did not study, whose results are in English, in any language other than English. Yes. So you have to do official translation. I did something like this when I was applying to a place, but not Erasmus Mundus. So you get a notary translator, official translator, not just using Google Translate or DeepL. Okay. So another question is this for Victor. If asked different additional degrees, I have a master's in biochemistry. Can I fill that in?
Yes. Be honest about yourself, your qualifications, fill that in. We had one or two persons in my program, particularly in my own cohort, who had already bagged master's degree in another program before coming to the Erasmus. So it's fine.
Okay. So I think we have really exceeded our time. And if, I don't know, we've answered over 100 questions, both the ones that the speakers answered directly to your DMs and the one we are answering from the question and answer session. So if, I don't know, like I would want to end this session at this point, but all the video will be online. But then if our speakers want, if they have the time, we can try to answer these questions in the Zoom. And then it's live streaming from another, because I don't want this video to be longer on YouTube. So what do you think? I don't know. I really have a lot of questions here, but we have to come to an end. Any suggestion?
Yeah, I think personally for me, maybe some of them can ask the questions on your YouTube page, and maybe I can just drop by and answer some that I can.
Okay. Okay.
Of course, yes, some of them could just drop some of the questions on the YouTube comment section. We can come on board just like Tolulope suggested.
Yes.
Could also give me like extra 5 minutes or 10 minutes to respond to some other questions. And if they want to respond, ask more questions on our DMs via social media platforms. I'm more active on LinkedIn. You could also check us up on LinkedIn.
Okay, please. What about you, Adepelumi? Adepelumi?
I think I stand with others.
Okay, so yes, we stand all together and we hope you enjoy this very session. And all our speakers said, go to the YouTube video, and I'll be posting that very video here so that you can ask your questions and they will be responding to it within these few days. Okay? I think we've tried to take a lot of these questions, and I hope you had a wonderful time with us. So please, all those people that their questions have not been answered, please take your questions to the YouTube video, the video that is being streamed right now. Ask it there. I just sent the link, the link to this very video. So please drop your questions there. Our speakers will answer it. I will also answer, because I mean, we are all doing this together, so that you will submit your application in no time. Thank you very much. You can show your love reactions to our speakers if you really enjoyed this. Honestly, I did. Thank you very much, Victor. Thank you very much, Grace. Thank you, Adepelumi, for your time, for your presentations, and for everything you try to do for us to have an engaging session. For those on YouTube, please leave your questions on the comment section. We try to answer most of your questions, but if you can leave some of them on the comment section of that video, that would be great, okay? Thank you very much. And this brings us to the end of this session. And I'm really happy we've spent this time learning. When making your applications, remember to dot your I's and cross your T's. Don't make a haphazard application. I'm rooting for you, and I wish you success in all your endeavors. Some people are still dropping questions on YouTube. Please send it on the comment section, okay? The live sometimes disappears. So keep it on the comment section of the video so we can see it. Okay, good luck and have a wonderful night, morning, afternoon, and evening, however you want it, okay? Please don't forget to like the videos when you log out, the video on the YouTube channel. Do that for me so that it can reach to as many people as possible. All right.